The project evolved gradually. I knew I always wanted a pond. We have traveled a lot to Hawaii. My husband finds such comfort in seeing ponds, and especially the koi fish. So it was always my dream to have koi fish. And when the landscape project started, we looked around and said, where do we put a pond? And initially I didn't think it was going to work, and so we were halfway done, and there were these two dirt areas here on either side of me, and it suddenly occurred to me, let's put the two ponds there. And I went on Google, and Jorge's site popped up, and I met him, and immediately he said, this is a perfect location for your ponds. The sunlight and shade ratio works, the size works. He said, I can do this. I said, let's do it. Jorge is such a friendly, outgoing person that he puts you at ease, but at the same time, he's very professional. You can tell he knows what he's doing. He has an eye for detail, and he seemed to just come up with it out of thin air from my perspective, because I said, you know, you're the expert, I know nothing about ponds, I'll leave it up to you. And he said, no problem, I know exactly what I want to do. He did hand me a book by Aquascape Creations, and there were a lot of photos in there, a lot of descriptions, and most of the ponds were pretty large. We don't have the property for that. But I didn't honestly give him much feedback. He offered me different types of features, and I said, absolutely, let's do it all. And this is what we got, and I couldn't be happier. Well, first of all, the waterfalls are almost a must, because you have to aerate the water and circulate the water. So I said, absolutely, waterfalls, I would love to see them, I'd like to hear them. And he made that happen. And then he said, well, what about a fountain? I said, please, I love water, I love noise of water, I love fountains. So he added in this amazing urn, which actually you can change the height of the water coming out. It can be low, it can be high, it's all done through this amazing app, which is idiot-proof, because I'm an idiot when it comes to technology. So yeah, you just change the timing, you can do everything with that. And then, I don't know if you can tell, but little bubbles in the middle, it's an aerator. And that you can also turn on or off whenever you want it, but it adds more oxygen. I think it just looks pretty with the little bubbles, and the fish seem to love it. They swim around it and through it, and so we've got that going on. He had said, what kind of plants do you want? And I said, well, obviously they should sort of tie into the rest of the landscaping. And he said, no problem, what color flowers do you like? And I said, well, anything really. And he added all that. I've got color, I've got different types. I have plants in the water, which I really wanted. Plants around, they're all growing, nothing died. And then I love the way he varied all the rocks. We got the larger rocks, and then the smaller pebbles. He's got some wood chips in there, and it just looks so natural, like maybe they were here and then I came and built everything around it. Yes, I was nervous. I've only had, the goldfish or the betta fish that's in the little tank inside, nothing this grand. But apparently Jorge made me feel so comfortable about getting the fish. He said, their koi fish there are super hardy. They're very easy. They love this kind of pond. In fact, now that you mentioned the fish, Jorge had built into these caves. He made the ponds deep enough so predators can't get them, and he made caves so they can hide in addition to the depth of the water. I haven't seen any predators, I've got gates and fences, but I'm told if you want to meet a heron, if you've never seen a heron, put in a pond with fish, you will bring the herons. Still haven't met the heron, but you never know. But there's caves in these ponds. These fish can hide, they are safe, and they're solid. But yeah, the koi fish have done really well. Jorge doesn't carry fish as part of his business, so I went to the store and got the fish, and they've thrived. And Jorge warned me, he's so thorough, he warned me, he said water clarity can change as things adapt. Sometimes things will look cloudy and then a couple days later it will clear up. The easy thing about these ponds is the maintenance. Everything is built in. Everything's hidden, which is great too, because it makes it look very natural. And everything is sort of self-perpetuating, where the bacterial balance is maintained and monitored by the system itself. So having never built a pond, I think everybody should have one of these. They can be smaller, they can be larger, I'm told, any shape, any size. Jorge can work with anything, and He's just the nicest, most personable guy. His company is very responsive. There's been a couple times where no fault of the pond setup, but we've had electrical issues with our other construction. And so the ponds would turn off and I didn't know how to turn them on yet or how to work everything. And it was, as soon as I texted or called, I got an immediate response. Everything was fixed. I was told which buttons to push. Everything worked well. And I'm told that will be ongoing. Anytime I need anything or have a question, I can call in. The level of service, the expedience, it wasn't rushed, but it was done in a way where it was finished within the time frame promised, and it was well built. These are gonna last. They are solid. I've had to step on rocks to water some things that I added, some pots, or to fish something that got into the pond from the construction out, and these rocks are solid, nothing moves. They are so well built. I was worried about earthquakes, living here in the Bay Area. And I asked Jorge, I said, if there's an earthquake, are the rocks gonna fall in? And it's gonna be, he said, no, they're gonna last. They're well built. So there was that, and again, everything was done in an expedient but thoughtful manner. And anytime I had a question, it was answered thoughtfully. And easily explainable to me, being a novice here with these ponds. And even the troubleshooting, like I said, was very easy to manage. And also, I was given a lot of information ahead of time on what to expect, and everything met those expectations. It was just spot on. I think for us, seeing the fish, seeing the ponds, the life that surrounds it, the plant life, the flowers, hearing the water, seeing the water flow and ebb and bubble, it just gives us a sense of peace and serenity. It makes us feel like now we're home. Even the kids, and then I have teenagers, and teenagers never have a good opinion of anything. They love it. They will come sit with me. They will come chat with me. They will watch the fish. They will feed the fish. They will ask me questions about the fish. And it's been such a nice thing to have as a family. Well, I mean, the obvious answer for me is to look at these ponds. They do speak for themselves. People come who've seen our yard before and now the after, and that's the first thing they'll look at. When they've looked around, that's the thing they'll come back to and say immediately, wow, those are amazing ponds. It's just it's an eye-catching, it maybe is because not everyone has a pond, but I would say, when you think of, I've never thought about it, it actually is easier maybe than it looks. Probably not the installation. Jorge made it look easy. But to me, everything was so flawless, maybe because he's just so good at what he does. It just looked like it was supposed to happen, and it was easy, and now it's easy to sit there and enjoy. So why do it? It just adds just another level of beauty and peace to the surroundings. Am I able to maintain a pond? And yes, now that I've done it, it's quite easy. Did I put it in the right place? Because I worry about too much sun, too little sun. Obviously it varies with the season, but so far no problems there. Maintenance, even the gentleman I bought the koi fish from, he said you don't even have to feed them when it gets cold. They hibernate. They just go to the bottom, no maintenance at all. You don't have to worry. He's just made it, they're just very easy. Sorry, there's construction upstairs.